Hello, I'm PS3 and welcome back to the video. Today I'm going to be joining you from underwater because I wanted to talk about banners in Minecraft. They're one of my favourite sources of creativity that the game actually does offer, and I loved making these tutorials on how you can make them because it teaches you how you can make some pretty crazy designs in your own Minecraft world. And today I figured, because the update Aquatic allows you to make banners underwater and to place them flawlessly underwater, I figured to celebrate that, why not show you 5 more banner designs because it's been so long, and 2 of these are specifically water themed, you know, the water wither and the squid design, but we have a third one which kind of works underwater for reasons I'll be explaining, and then we have the Hylian Shield, because who doesn't love Zelda, and then finally, because you've detected the accent I have is slightly English, we have the Doctor Who, Tardis Banner, just to make things that little bit extra special. So yeah, 5 banners and tutorials on how to make them, that's what we're going through in today's video, and we're going to be doing all of this underwater, just because, you know, it's the update Aquatic, why not? Please do like this video if you do like it, because it helps out the channel, and lets you do like the Aquatic banner designs, and how to make them and stuff, but let's get straight into it, shall we? And let's start by going over to our crafting table. Again, look, we're swimming around, and therefore this makes it even more watery themed. And we're going to talk about the very first one I want to make, which is going to be the Hylian Shield. So, as someone who really loves the Zelda games, got into it with Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker together, the Hylian Shield just has a special place inside my heart, and every time I see it, I just feel a little bit of a positive emotion, and maybe you feel the same way. So, here's how you make it in chest form. So, in case this is too, you know, like, if you can just absorb this and be like, oh, I know how to make it now, that's great. But if you want to see it step by step, here is the easy step-by-step guide, because you want to start with a blue banner. If it's not blue, you're going to have to dye it blue, or, you know, just get a blue banner base. You need 6 wool and a stick, but basically, what you want to do is just take your blue banner, and you want to put it in there with a rose red and an oxeye daisy. We're going to use these oxeye daisies a lot, so if you don't have them, then make sure you do get them, because that will give us a weird pattern that looks like this. It's like a gear, it's like a pokeball, it's something like that, but if once we have this red gear pattern, we're then going to cover up most of it using the blue, fez going at the top, so it goes like this. Again, easy stuff. If you're using the console crafting, it's a little bit easier, but again, we have to use it manually here, so easy stuff, as you can see. Now we've got the blue banner, blue perfest, and we've got the red flower charge. So then we want to add the yellow inverted chevron on top of that, looking something like this, and suddenly all of the Hyrule colors are coming together. It's looking magical, like you're seeing the complementary colors, but we're still not quite there, because there's 2 more bits. Again, this is slightly less work than most of the designs today, except the very last one, which is perfectly easy. But yeah, we have one last step to do, this, followed by one final thing, because we've got the Hyrule like kind of pattern done already, but to make it look like it's a shield rather than just a Hyrule banner, you want to use the yellow, the light grey bordure. So bordure is using vines, again, vines and oxeye daisies, they're going to be your best friend today, so you want to use that with some light grey, and suddenly it's looking like a shield. So the wonderful thing about the Hylian Shield is it works fairly well as a banner by itself. Like seriously, I placed the banner here, looks pretty nice, right, I like it at least, but if you place this on a shield, again, only available on Minecraft PC, eventually maybe coming to other platforms, you'll actually have a full-on functioning Hylian Shield inside Minecraft, and that is wonderful. That's enough reason to like this by itself, but just in case you're like, no, Toycat, I need things for now, right this very second, then maybe what you'll prefer is the Tardis design. So this is also going to start with a blue banner. Again, maybe you can absorb this and that's enough information, but just in case it's not, we're going to grab our blue banner and we're going to grab some bricks. So again, we're going to be using some bricks to make the white mason field. So again, this is using a white dye and a brick. Again, it's weird to me that like bricks and daisies and stuff is so common in making banners, but they are, let's just accept that. So you end up with this nice little brick pattern, which again, by itself, just one pattern on a banner always looks pretty good in my opinion, but you want to then take this pattern, throw it back in there, and you want to put the opposite of what we did before, the inverted fess, having 6 blue dye going at the bottom here. Again, it's looking a little bit rough right now, like, oh, why did we just ruin that? But again, the design, don't worry, it's happening. So then we want to put, a cross of black across, followed by a cross of blue. The reason we're doing this, by the way, it might seem like it's counterintuitive, like, what? Why are we wasting that time? Is because we want to have the tiniest, like, outline of black on there, but mostly have it covered up with blue instead. So, do the exact same thing, but with a blue thing instead, and there you can see there's the tiniest black outline on the blue fest, and again, we're slowly getting the TARDIS thing, but we've got, like, windows and stuff all out the outside. Well, that's where we go with a black bordure, so throw the banner in the middle, throw 8 ink sacs around it, that's right, 8 full ink sacs, and then you can have something that looks like this. And then finally, again, we're doing the exact same magic we just did before, where we're going to remove most of the black we just put on there with blue, but it leaves the outline behind, and it leaves a very effective, in my opinion at least, looking TARDIS door. So yeah, this is the TARDIS kind of thing. You can use it just symbolized, like, oh look, I love Doctor Who this much. Like, you can see the black lines on it. Or you can put it on some concrete, and you can make what looks like a real TARDIS. I mean, it looks more like a porta potty than a TARDIS, but you know, the TARDIS looks like a porta potty mixed with a phone box anyway, so that's what that is. I mean, I know it's just an old phone box, but if you really go to London, the phone boxes are red. Fun fact, they have Wi-Fi in them. Boom! Now you learn about London and you learn about TARDISes. How about that? But we have 3 more banners I want to show off, and the next one here is going to be, again, it's one you can use to represent the end. End portals now work underwater, or like they don't get destroyed by water at least. So if you want to have your end portal be in your underwater cave, then you can signify that, guess what, go this way, you'll find the Ender Dragon. So how do you signify that? Well, you want to grab yourself a magenta base. Again, it looks like you want a black one, but again, just trust me on this one. You want a magenta base banner, so it's going to look like this. You're going to grab one of those, and you want to use the same flower from before to get that flower power pattern going on. So you want to use the flower, but instead of using it with the previous color, we're going to use purple dye instead, which actually, we need to go get the purple dye. I left it in the chest, my bad. So we need to grab the purple dye from the chest. Again, if you want to absorb from chest format, here's how you make it. But in case chest format just isn't your thing, and I don't blame if it's not, we're going to put the exact same thing in there with the exact same oxide daisy, but this time we'll throw in the purple dye, because then that's going to give you this kind of thing again. And again, this looks nothing like the Ender Dragon, but with certain designs with banners, it's more about what you're removing from the banner more than what you're adding. So in this case, we want to grab 6 magenta, remove most of that, and as you can see, we've got like a weird eyebrow kind of look. Again, by itself, this looks like a creepy, you know, like Sauron, like half thing. But yeah, again, we want to just kind of leave that how it is, and then surround that with black. So it's called the black border because we're going to be entirely surrounding it with ink sacs. By the way, you know, this is even more aquatic themed because we're using so much ink sacs. Guess where you get ink sacs? You kill squid. Guess where you kill squid? In the oceans. Boom. Look how aquatic this video is. But no, then you want to add a black pale to that. So 3 layers of ink sac. 1, 2, 3. And then we got ourselves this kind of thing. It's looking a tiny bit ugly, but you know, that's fine. Then we want to add a bottom fest to this, followed by a top fest. Again, there's a lot of removing and turning it into black here. That's why I said it looks like it's magenta, but it's really magenta that we're just slowly leaving a little bit behind. Then we leave a little bit on top, and you're slowly seeing the Ender Dragon start to form. But even then, it's looking a little bit rough. Like how are we going to use one more layer to make the Ender Dragon? And the simple answer to that question is an inverted chevron. So 1, 2, 3. That removes most of it. I guess we have to put the banner in a different place here. Oh, I think we put too many layers on this already. No, what? So we put the last layer on here. I don't know what I did wrong with this one. I put 1 extra layer on than I was meant to. I think I put on 2 things instead. But once you put that layer on, then you end up with the full-on dragon. For some reason, I made the basic mistake here. But again, you can see I did it over there. It's just this time, I made the tiny mistake of adding an extra one on there. So, yeah, how do you do it? You do it like this. If you make a mistake and you don't have the chevron, it still looks a bit like a dragon, but it's more like a, you know, like a robot dragon or something. And there you go. That's how you make it. You just don't add the second layer on at one point, like I did there, which is, again, really big mistake. Don't want to be making that. Pro tip, don't do that, but I did right there. So let's move on to the 4th one here, because, you know, let's be honest, I think the one you're most excited about is the squid anyway. And maybe, you know, in this video, you learned how to make 2 designs. You can do that, or if you make the same layer twice, like I did over there, then you'll make this one instead. Isn't that wonderful? Because if I compare the 2 banners, you know, let's do this. Let's just break the banner quickly. Oh, you can't. I'm underwater. It's going to take me forever. But yeah, basically you can see it's just like I added 1 layer. My bad. But let's talk about the next one here, which is how to make the squid banner. This is the best banner in my opinion that we've made from the set. So as you can see, we're going to need a white banner just like this. Grab ourselves the white banner. Use some vines. Use some ink sacs. And again, here's the chest format if you want to absorb it. But yeah, we're going to go to the thing, and we're going to place ourselves the. Okay, so again, let's grab the white banner. This is our first one where we're starting with a true clean slate, but we're using it in the same way before, where we're just trying to eliminate everything else. Because we're just going to add some black to that and make it look mostly not so white anymore. Then we're going to use the white banner, add some cyan, you know, like inverted fest to the bottom. So this is covering the bottom 6 blocks like this, nice and easy. Like, okay, looking the tiniest bit like a squid maybe, or like half a squid above the water. It's not looking too great until you add the top fest too. So top fest covers these 3 blocks right here. As you can see, squid eyes are starting to form, but we're still missing some of the key stuff. Well, that's why you then add a cyan fest going down the middle, followed by a cyan border. So again, we're basically just eliminating most of it that isn't made of cyan. So there we go. Squid eyes have now been formed. So how do we make the rest of this? Because they're looking like evil squid eyes rather than positive squid eyes. Well, that's where the border comes in. Because as you can see, once you add this to the mix, these squid eyes get turned from like serious eyes, angry eyes, into kind of derpy eyes, if we're being honest. And then we take the derpy-eyed squid, which, you know, by itself, this is an okay banner. Like, again, you can look at it and say, yeah, that's something. But then we're going to add a gradient to it, which goes here, there, and then, okay, we have to move that, and then also up there and there, and then that gives it a little bit of a gradient, and it makes it look more in the water. Again, I feel like this banner is just fine, just those 5 things, but I feel like adding the last phase to it, this is what makes it a wonderful squid banner. And if you want to signify like where your squid farm is, or just, you know, signify there's squid in the nearby area, then you can use this banner to do so. I really like it for that purpose, and I would recommend it. And again, make sure you do it all right, or you're gonna end up with something derpy like before. So anyway, now we've gone through 4 banners. We're 9 minutes into the video. You're probably either super excited because you're like, oh, I'm gonna make one of those 4 banners, or you zoned out like 6 minutes ago and you're like, oh, it's Toycat still talking? What's the deal with that? You know, you took too much cough medicine or something, and you're like, whoa, man, he's still talking. So in case you are that level of thing, and your attention just isn't too great, you can't memorize 5 layers, then here is the perfect banner for you. It's the Water Wither, as I like to call it, and the beautiful thing about this banner is it requires just 2 layers. So it's a really tricky survival banner to make, but in creative, again, it's instant. You can be like, okay, take a background. In this case, we're going to use light blue, and then you want to take some lapis lazuli, and all you need is a creeper skull, 2 lapis lazuli, and a wither skeleton skull. So how does this work, you might ask? We grab ourselves the banner, a light blue banner in this case. Actually, we don't have the light blue banner with. So we grab ourselves the banner, and in this case, we're going to grab a white banner, because, you know, let's go with a white background, prove the point it's different. And then we're going to grab our white banner, and we're going to just put 2 things on it. The first thing is going to be the wither skull, which is going to go on first, obviously. So just like this, we throw on our wither skeleton skull, and a blue piece of lapis. Oh, I guess I was going to say like a blue piece of dye, but it's a blue piece of lapis lazuli is kind of redundant, isn't it? But we add the white banner with a blue skull charge, and then we add on also the creeper head. Again, the creeper head gives you one of the coolest patterns in the game, but again, we're just combining these 2 things together, the skull and crossbones and the creeper. Somehow they magically combine, and they make something that looks like the wither. Maybe it's just to me, but maybe to you too. And you can use this for 2 purposes. First of all, just to be like, look, the Water Wither, I support the Water Wither as the next boss. Because I do. Do you support the Water Wither? Vote hashtag Water Wither right now, and maybe we can make this happen. But also, in case you're in the situation where you're gonna start, because now withers will work underwater if you drain the area just right, and you can have underwater withers if you want to. It's not a good idea, but if you have an area where you're like, oh yeah, here's where I'm gonna spawn the wither, as you can see, I've got mine ready, then you can place a banner here and be like, look, don't come near here, it's kind of dangerous. This banner doesn't work because it's in an area without source blocks, but you get the point. Like, you can have an area, you can warn people away, like, don't go here, there's going to be a wither, watch out. And yeah, the Water Wither warning banner, I think it's pretty cool, and I also think all these banners in general were pretty fun, and I hope you did all agree. Let me know what you thought of the first underwater top 5 banner video, and like it if you did like it, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, and make sure you turn notifications whether or not you did so now, because that's how you'll stay notified. Like, if you can't follow an 11-minute video, how can you stay up to date with the crazy world of your YouTube subscriptions? You can't without turning on notifications, and that's why you should totally do that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.